refuse to lose. I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running, toes they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I filled it in. No time for the doubt, they counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse.
Welcome everybody to another great episode of FFC. That was horrible. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys so much. All right, so we have a great episode today. We are still draft ranking. We're still doing our draft rankings. We are going to be working on rankings 201 to 300. So we still got a lot of players to talk about. We're going to incorporate kickers and defenses towards the end of that, towards the end of, let's say bottom 200s, or bottom 100. And why is that? Because, well, we got a lot of other players we got to discuss after in the next episode, which is basically everybody that's coming off waiver wires, everybody that's probably not going to start. So, where we are today is you still got a lot of players that are bench worthy, flex worthy. So those players are the ones that we're going to be ranking today. But we also are going to start off by recapping the first. We're doing 200 to 300 actually. So yeah, we're actually going to re-rank the first 200 people. So let us get started with that. Where's my? There we go. All right, so let's see here. Get my handy dandy list. Okay, so as we all know, for the last few weeks, we keep number one at number one. That will be Jahmyr Gibbs. He is not moving from that spot. At number two, we have Bijan Robinson. At number three is Jamar Chase. At number four is Jackson Smith-Njigba. At number five, we have Puka Nacua. At number six, we have Jonathan Taylor. At number seven, we have Amon-Ra St. Brown. At number 8, we have Christian McCaffrey. At number 9, we have Justin Jefferson. I'm still leaving Justin Jefferson at number 9. I think he's still better than a number 9 player, but the offense, I have so many questions. You ever know, did you watch the Vikings preseason game, anybody? Anybody pay attention to that game? Where's J.J. McCartney? Him and Kyler Murray they're not around each other, right? You saw Kyler Murray, and you said all the other quarterbacks. I didn't see JJ. So there's already just bad blood there. Yeah, there's rumors out there. Geno Smith is playing so bad that the Jets are thinking of trading for J.J. McCarthy. Ironically, I thought that's where he should have went in the first place, there or New England. And not as a starter, come in and learn and then start eventually. But he got thrown into the fire in Minnesota, and that was a headache I don't think anybody was ready for. All right, so let's see. At number 10, we have Drake London. At number 11, we have CeeDee Lamb. At number 12, we have James Cook. At number 13, we have Ashton Genty. At number 14, I saw somebody, I don't know if this is I feel it's just a gag or a real draft. They took Ashton Genty, number 1. They took Ashton Genty, number 1 overall. He must see something everybody else. Now, look here. To be quite honest with you, in a 16-team league, in a 14-team league, he's a first-round pick. But you go all the way up to number 1 for him? I mean, I would say this. You're missing out on a lot of players. Doesn't necessarily mean he's a bad one for you. You get what I mean? Like, you can manipulate the board any way you really, really want. At the end of the day, fantasy football is about players that you want. So he could be the laughing stock of the draft because he took Gentry number 1. But they won't be laughing if he ends up as fantasy football champion. So you gotta understand, this is about fantasy football. This isn't about real life. Okay, if you draft in fantasy based off what these players do in real life, you do know you probably don't win a lot of fantasy football games, right? I'm just putting it out there. You don't win a lot of games. It's fantasy. It's fake. Ain't nothing about this real. The only thing that's real is whatever stats they actually get that can calculate to the points that are created in a fantasy football platform. That's about it. So I personally, a person taking Ashton Jeanty, who's 13 overall, and they took him with the number 1 pick. I mean, it's better than taking the tight end number 1, and he still got a running back at number 1. And at the end of the day, he's a number 1 running back in someone else's team. So I personally don't see an issue with it. You know what I mean? Maybe they didn't want Jameer Gibbs. Maybe they didn't want a running back that just got paid. Maybe they understand the pressure on them. It's going to be just a tad bit high. Who knows? And not like they can't handle the pressure. The defenses are going to apply pressure on them tenfold. That's what I mean. All right, at number 14, we have Amarion Hampton. At number 15, we have A.J. Brown. At number 16, we have Nico Collins. At number 17, we have George Pickens. At number 18, we have Chase Brown. At number 19, we have Rashee Rice. At number 20, we have Devon Achane. 21, Trey McBride. At 22, we have Brock Bowers. At 23, we have Chris Olave. 24, we have Josh Allen. At 25, we have Saquon Barkley. At 26 is Devontae Smith. At 27, Zay Flowers. At 28, Lamar Jackson. At 29, Kenneth Walker III. At number 30, Tutorial McMillan. At 31, we have Garrett Wilson. At 32, T. Higgins. At 33, Mika Ibuka. At 34, Jalen Waddle. At 35, Kyron Williams. At 36 is Drake May. At 37, Javonte Williams. 38, we have Breece Hall. 39, Mike Evans. 40, Derrick Henry. At 41, Joe Burrow. 42, Devontae Adams. At 43, Travis Etienne. Devontae Adams and Matthew Stafford are going to have fun this NFL season. I guarantee you that. They're in practice throwing no-look passes and catching them. It's going to be a fun season for the Rams. I do believe that. All the way, it could. You could get Matthew Stafford, too. He deserves it. He definitely deserves it. Can he work that way up there to it and get into the playoff or get into the Super Bowl? We're going to find out. It's going to be tough in the NFC. AFC, the road goes through Patrick Mahomes. I ain't worried about that. Patrick or Burrow? We're going to see. Because if Burrow can get through Patrick, it's going to be a nice road for Burrow. If Burrow can't get through Patrick, Patrick, we back, baby. Pat is back. All right, ETN at 43. Josh Jacobs at 44. Jameson Williams at 45. Tyler Warren at 46. DJ Moore at 47. Luther Burden III at 48. Bucky Urban at 49. And David Montgomery at number 50. So first 50 players. All right, let's move on. At 51, we have Ladd McConkey. At 52 is Patrick Mahomes. 53 is Jaden Daniels. I like the added commodity of Stephon Diggs. So that should help with the receiving core, moving the ball around the field a little bit more. Hopefully the run game can sustain some good yardages so they can just be a nice, balanced offense. And Jaden doesn't have to do too much. We got to go, we got to get a season of this kid playing some healthy football outside of his rookie year. We get that with a lot of players, man. We get that rookie season, like, oh, yay. And then next 2-3 years, they're barely playing. Eat some meat. Get some steak in your belly. Get some protein in your body. Make the muscles strong. All right. 54, Colston Loveland. 55, Terry McLaurin. 56, Jalen Hurts. 57, Travion Henderson at 58. I have him ranked at 57, but be very, very weary of Travion Henderson because I can't think of his name right now. He ain't going away. I think I'm about to run his name here in a minute anyway. He ain't going away. So Ramondre Stevenson, he's not going away. He's going to be a headache for Henderson fans. I would probably, if you can't handcuff them both, I would stay away from Travion Henderson. Quinshawn Judikins at 58, Caleb Williams at 59, DeAndre Swift at 60, Christian Watson at 61, Romo Dunes at 62. At 63, we have Justin Herbert. 64, we have Bayshawn Tootin. At 65, we have Marvin Harrison Jr. 66 is Dak Prescott. At 67, we have Cortland Sutton. At 68, Brian Thomas Jr. At 69, we have Michael Pittman. At 70 is Jalen Warren. At 71, we have Harold Fannin Jr. 72 is Trevor Lawrence. At 73 is Tucker Kraft. 74 is Chris Godwin. If Tucker Kraft is not ready to go week one, he might be on the pub list. I wouldn't take him. Leave him right there on the waiver wire. Find somebody else. Come back for him later. Chris Godwin at 74. DK Metcalf at 75. 76 is Alec Pierce. At 77 is Ramondre Stevenson. If you get Ramondre Stevenson, you pretty much might have a steal because I think he is eating in camp right now. I'm sorry, Henderson fans, but Travion, he's not going away. Ramondre's not going away. 78, we have Sam Laporta. At 79, Tony Pollard. At 80 is Jadarian Price. 81, Kyle Pitts. 82, Parker Washington. 83, Chuba Hubbard. 84 is Rico Dow. 85 is Wan'Dale Robinson. 86 is Michael Wilson. 87 is RJ Harvey. 88 is Jackson Dart. 89 is Brock Purdy. 90 is Josh Downs. 91 is Travis Kelce. 92 is Bo Nix. 93 is Matthew Stafford. 94 is Dallas Goedert. 95 is Blake Corum. 96 is Jake Ferguson. 97 is Quentin Johnston. At 98, we have Kenneth Gainwell. 99, we have Jared Goff ranked. And at 100 is Kyle Mahogany. All right. So we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we get back, we are going to go start off with recapping the next 100 players before we get into where we at? Before we get into 200 to 91 or 200 to 300. So we're going to do the next 100 players when we come back from commercial break. All right, guys, we'll be right back.
Yo, my name is Lambo Anlo.
This is Dimitri.
This is Ed Han.
My name is Daryl Julian, and this is
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Refuse to Lose Sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Mind that can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like Toby, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah, no time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win. Yeah, refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in. Yeah, no time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm ready to win. Yeah, refuse.
All right, guys, we are back. Hold on one second. I'm with the producer. Hold on. All right, sorry, we're working on lunches for the children tomorrow. All right, let's see. Where are we? We are at 100. All right, so at 101, we'll do all right. At 101, we have Jaden Reed. At 102, we have Jacoby Myers. At 103, we have George Kittle. At 104 is Baker Mayfield. 105, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. At 106 is Jordan Love. At 107 is Stephon Diggs. At 108 is Romeo Dobbs. At 109 is Carnell Tate. At 110, we have Jordan Tyson. At 111 is Jonathan Brooks. At 112, we have Rashad White. At 113 is Jordan Addison. At 114 is Dalton Kincaid. At 115, we have Aaron Jones Sr. 116 is Jeremiah Love. 117, Khalil Shakir. 118, Isaiah Likely. At 119, we have Jaden Higgins. At 120, we have Tyler Shaw. 121 is Tyrone Tracy. At 121, Tyrone Tracy. So, ladies and gentlemen, here's what we're going to do. I'm glad we pulled up to this name. Right now, they have Scatterbo as their number one running back. Okay? Here's what we're going to do, though. Tyrone Tracy's gone. So at 121, I'm not touching Scatterbo. You guys can touch that if you want to. But this is the person we're going to put in place of Scatterbo. Najee Harris. I think he's going to be the one that actually takes over the backfield. So at 121, we have a new running back. Najee Harris is ranked at 121. At 122, we have Xavier Worthy. At 123, we have Mark Andrews. 124 is Matthew Golden. 125 is Woody Marks. At one, actually, we're going to do something. Where you at? Just in case they have Scatterbo starting this year, I don't want to. I'm still saying take, but if Najee, it depends on where you are in the depth chart, and you don't want to grab somebody on the depth chart that's basically like third string. But they brought in Najee Harris to get rid of Tyrone Tracy. But this is what we're gonna do. Scat. All right, we're gonna put him in the same rankings with Najee. So therefore, if come the depth chart, obviously we will put Scatterbo here at 121, and we'll move Najee down. All right. Xavier Worthy at 122. At 123, we have Mark Andrews. At 124 is Matthew Golden. 125 is Woody Marks. At 126 is Tyler Algier. 127, we have Sam Darnold. At 128 is C.J. Stroud. 129 is C.J. Conception. At 130, we have Deebo Samuels. 131 is Zach Cabernet. At 132 ranked is Rashid Shaheed. At 133, we have Jawan Johnson. At 134 is Tajay Spears. 135 is Alvin Kamara. Alvin Kamara can stay at 135. However, be wary because Alvin Kamara will miss the first month of football, unfortunately, due to injury. Mekhi Lemon at 136. 137, we have Jordan Mason. At 138 is Cam Ward. At 139 is Brenton Strange. 140 is Chiganakwa. At 141 is Isaiah Pacheco. He's also dealing with a hamstring. Not a hamstring. He's dealing with an injury that has him sidelined through training camp. So he's basically not even practicing. So I can promise you the first 5 games is going to be all that number 1 pick, Jahmyr Gibbs. Let's see. Daniel Jones is at 142. Jawan Jennings is 143. Denzel Boston is 144. At 145, we have Keaton Mitchell. 146 is Jerry Jeudy. At 147, we have Hunter Henry. At 148 is Bryce Young. At 149, we have Omar Cooper Jr. And at 150 is Tank Bigsby. Yeah, Philly will use them. Philly likes using all their running backs. All right, at 151, we have Trey Tucker. At 152 is Jalen McMillan. At 153 is Brian Robinson Jr. 154 is Adonai Mitchell. At 155 is Kyler Murray. 156, he is at 155 due to the fact that he did take the job, so he has to be ranked. He is a viable quarterback for at least 10 games this season. I think he has 10 good games this season. I don't think they might win 10, they might not win, but I think he'll have 10 good games. Yeah, new offense, and a familiar offense for him, so that actually goes well. He has a number one receiver, something he hasn't had in his career. I can attest to that as well. Outside of, I can't think of my boy's name. He was a Houston receiver. Outside of DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler Murray really hasn't had a number one receiver. So we will see what he can do this year with one Jay Jettas. All right, Jalen Coker at 156. At 157 is Chris Rodriguez. 158, we have Rashid Shaheed. 159 is Dylan Sampson. 160 is Malik Willis. 161 is Joe Coleman. 162 is Travis Hunter. Okay, I got a question. I gotta ask. What is it that y'all are seeing in Malik Willis that I'm not? He has no offensive line. He has no offense. His defense is subpar at best. He has no receivers. But somehow y'all saying the Miami Dolphins are going to be good this year. I've been fooled before. 162 is Travis Hunter. 163 is Dalton Schultz. At 164 is Oronde Gatson. At 165 is Dejon Stribling. At 166 is Trey Harris. At 167 is Braylon Allen. At 168 is Ryan Flowerny. At 169 is TJ Hawkinson. At 170 is Jacoby Brissett. 171 is Brandon Aubrey. At 172, we have Ray Davis. 173, Kamani Vidal. 174, Jalen Naylor. 175 is Kayshon Boutte. 176, Emmett Johnston. At 177, James Conner. 178, Sean Tucker. 179, Dontavian Wicks. 180 is Calvin Ridley. 181, Cameron Dicker. 182, Malik Washington. 183, AJ Barner. 184, Troy Franklin. 185, Cam Little. 186, Jalen Noel. 187, Emmett is Darnell Mooney. 188 is Keon Sadiq. 189 is Isaac Tesla. 190 is Emmanuel Wilson. Let's see. My numbers got mixed up. All right, 190, where are that? 191 is Mike Washington Jr. 192 is Tyler Loop. 193 is Gunnar Helm. 194. All right, 194 is Nicholas Singleton. 195 is Geno Smith. 196 is Rashad Bateman. 197 is Tank Dell. 198 is Cooper Kupp. 199 is Antonio Williams. And 200 is Aaron Rodgers. All right, so those are our recap of our first 200 players. All right, how did I do this? I messed up my numbers. All right. Let's see. All right, so y'all gonna walk with me to the next 200 people. So, or not 200 people, from 201 to 300. But we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be right back. And hopefully, I'll have most of these numbers under control. So we'll be right back.
Yo, my name is Lambo Anlo.
This is Dimitri.
This is Ed Hahn
My name is Daryl Julian, and this is
Refuse to lose sports.
and Refuse to Lose Sports.
Refuse to Lose Sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we live in different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me, like told me, keep on running toes. They gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I pay for the cost. I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win. Yeah, refuse.
Yo, my name is Lambo Anlo.
This is Dimitri.
This is Ed Hahn
My name is Daryl Julian, and this is
Refuse to lose sports.
and Refuse to Lose Sports.
Refuse to Lose Sports.
Refuse to lose sports.
Mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we live in different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it. They told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie. I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me, like told me, keep on running toes. They gon' take them. Refuse to lose, built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I pay for the cost. I'm winning to win. Yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win. Apply myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out. I'm getting it in. Yeah. No time for no loss. I'm paying the cost. I'm in it to win. Yeah. Refuse.
All right, we got most of these numbers under control. All right. All right, so let's go back up to all right, yeah, 200 at Aaron Rodgers. Okay. 201 is Marshawn Lloyd. At 202 ranked is Jalen Blue. 203 is Jalen Wright. At 204, we have Harrison Mevis. At 205, Pat Fairmouth. At 206, Terrence Ferguson. 207 is Jeremy Bernard. 208, we have Cade Otton. Cade Otton is ranked low, but Cade Otton should actually still be a viable weapon for this team because they did lose Mike Evans and they didn't necessarily add an extra receiver. They're going to use veteran weapons, and Cade Otton is a veteran weapon, especially in the red zone. So I won't rate him because I don't think he's going to be a focal point every game. What I mean is Cade Otton is going to get you a good, clean 11 to 15 points a game because he's going to get you 60 yards and a touchdown just about. Let's see. Creighton Allen at 209. At 210, Zachariah Branch. At 211, Greg Dolch. At 212, Kamir Dyke. At 213, Justice Hill. At 214, Ollie Gordon. At 215, Evan Ingram. 216 is Keon Coleman. At 217, we have David Njoku. At 218, Jack Beck. 219, Fernando Mendoza. At 220, we have Isaiah Davis. At 221 is Chris Boswell. 222 is Alec Ayamaner. I'm so sorry. Kobe Parkinson is at 223. 224 is Torrey Horton. 225, we have Chris Bell At 226 is George Hollaney. At 227 is Ty Johnson. At 228 is Christian Kirk. 229 is Tua Tagovailoa. 230 is Damon Claiborne. At 231 is Jordan James. 232 is Malachi Fields. 233 is Elijah Sarrett. At 234 is Tyquan Thornton. At 235 is Ted Hurst III. At 236 is Chris Brooks. At 237 is Marvin Mims Jr. 238, Samaje P. Ryan. 239 is DJ Giddens. At 240, we have Darius Slayton. At 241 is Xavier Legette. At 242 is Keenan Allen. Keenan Allen has been added to the Indianapolis Colts. A good pickup. He is an older receiver. He's going to work most likely in the middle of the field, a little bit of the outside, but I think at 243 is still a good rank for him. Meaning he's a good flex option and a good bench, meaning if you have a bye week player, you throw in Keenan Allen that week, you're good to go. At 244, we have the Denver Broncos. At 245, the Seattle Seahawks. At 246, Los Angeles Rams. 247, Philadelphia Eagles. At 248, we have the New England Patriots. 249 is the Minnesota Vikings. At 250, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. At 251 is the Los Angeles Rams. At 252, we have Kyrie Fairbairn. At 253, we have Baltimore Ravens. At 254, the Green Bay Packers. At 255 is Tyler Loop. At 256 is Cario Santos. 257 is Kansas City Chiefs defense. At 258, we have the Detroit Lions. 259, Jake Bates. At 260, Evan McPherson. At 261, Andy Borgales. At 262, Chase McClellan. At 263, Buffalo Bills. 264, Cleveland Browns. 265, we have the Harrison Buckner. At 266, I did it again. You're already here. All right, we're going to stop there at 265 with Harrison Butler because everybody else is pretty much not right. All right, that's fine. That's fine. That means when we come back this week, we'll go through the rest of those and then 300 through 400. These numbers are getting to be too much. All right, guys. Well, anyway, I do appreciate your guys' time. Thank you guys for tuning in for today's show. It was a quick show. I haven't done one in about a week or so. New work schedule, so I'm trying to work all that out. So I did want to come on a free day and actually get in the episode for you guys, so you guys can have this on YouTube whenever you need it. We will be back this week for another episode, so stay tuned for that. And we're going to finish off the rest of the 200 rankings. It's about 40 more players, and then we'll jump into 300 through 400. So thank you guys for tuning in. Coach loves you. I'm out.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.